beam this year. So we've got Alia Mustafina, Carlotta Polito, Vanessa Ferrari. She's done so well at these championships. In yet another final at Zhang Song, she fell off beam in the all-around competition, but she is the second highest qualifier. Kyla Ross, third highest qualifier. Larissa Yordashia, I mean, she's the highest qualifier. European champion, Beth, as well, so you're expecting good things from her.
They are. I mean, like, the Romanians are renowned for the beam, so she'll be out there. She hasn't quite picked up a medal at these championships, so she'll definitely be wanting one.
Yeah, and as a piece of equipment, I mean, you know, it's the width of a house brick. We go on about saying this, but and there's not a lot of give there.
There isn't. We quite often say it's kind of the pommel of women's gymnastics. Once you're offline, that's it. There's no pulling it back. Well,
let's see how Alia Mustafina from Russia gets on. It's over to Mitch Fenner and Christine Still.
And Alia Mustafina starts us off in this beam final. And floats that first series. Links a jump into the side somersault. And another very difficult combination. The change leg half to the half-turning flip and then the double spin. Now, we've seen her on occasion link all three of those, but today, decides she'll go for a little bit of safety, the free walkover into the back flip. That is her acrobatic series. Very nice. Change leg to ring. The free cartwheel secure. Quite a short routine, packs the difficulty in. Big focus for the dismount. Up we go, double tuck. What a start!
Indeed, what a start. She's always had the grace, the elegance, and the poise for this apparatus. But to see her accurately go through, she's almost mystical expression on her face. Very, very confident. Great to see it.
Nu dus wel een finale voor de 19 jaar oude
turn.
Ze woont in Moskou.
Elegant walkover. And how vital, Christine, is the poise she has? I mean,
she's got lovely poise. She's been taught really well right from the beginning. She can hold her hips square all the time, but she is just a little bit slow and cautious. Lovely landing though. But it's the lack of rhythm that she may lose a few marks for.
Well, she couldn't have wished, I don't think, for a more promising start. She kept her nerve. And she's had a bit of an up and downer through this competition on the various apparatus.
Yes, took the bronze overall in the all-around competition. Her qualification wasn't good, but in the actual all-around competition, she held her nerve.
Will she get in the 15s? No is the answer to that. 14.9. But it's a good score. The judges are not giving the 15s away.
Not. She had a 6 start value.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carlotta Polito.
Carlotta Polito. 18 years old.
Young Italian gymnast, quite a beam specialist. Silver medalist at the Europeans this year. Went for the free walkover straight into the sheep jump. Now here's her acrobatic series. 2 flips into a layout somersault. You can see she was a little bit off, but she's full of confidence. Readjusted her body. And very positive in her links. Lands the jump straight into the tuck back. Gymnasts have to join 2 jumps, and most of them choose fairly simple ones. That's a difficult one when you take your head back, worth a lot of marks. And another leap with the head going back. right to the ceiling, so she's building her difficulty with these difficult leaps. Has to have a dismount to match. The dismount has to be one of the moves that's counted. Hits the end of the beam, 2.5 twist, another very secure routine.
Oh, she's impressed in the past on beam, and as you say, Chris, she got a silver 2 years ago in the European Championships. 11th in the all-round competition. And always rely on beam. Very graceful performer.
Italian gymnasts really, beam is their piece. See that? The judges have to decide, did the free walk over go immediately into the jump, or was there a little pause? You see, there's no question here. These backflips and layout somersault definitely link, but you can see how well she recovered. And fantastic foot placement, one foot in front of the other, whole foot down to land. 2.5 twist, just a little bit untidy.
23 jaar oude gymnaste uit Jenny Volta. Die mag terugblikken op fantastische Olympische Spelen vorig jaar. Ze werd 4e aan de grond.
She's just bothered about the score, that's the only thing.
Yeah. Well, when you know you've done a good job, you just want everyone to appreciate it, especially the judges. And she did do a good job.
She did do a good job. They probably on beam more than anything else, the judges have to make decisions about whether they feel this move immediately linked to that move or whether there was a slight pause. It's probably the piece of apparatus where the start value can vary the most depending on whether the judges, the way they see it. And that's what'll be taking the time now.
14.9 is the target. 14.283 is the result. Execution 8.383.
And a little down on start value, so they didn't count everything.
An inquiry from Alia Mustafina. The inquiry, when it's submitted, must be on the difficulty score. It cannot be on the execution score. So, standing by is Vanessa Ferrari. It's great to see her still looking so good.
I think Ferrari has looked better this championships than I've seen her for a long while.
Mustafina there.
Vanessa Ferrari starting with that planche, beautifully held. Second Italian gymnast in this final. Taking the whole length of the beam, you can see round off, straight back somersault, full of confidence. Free walkover, just now you see they probably will feel there was a little pause between those two. Very nice leap to a ring position to the head back. And Ferrari has very good rhythm on beam. She keeps the whole thing moving. Little smile as well, she's selling it. She'll have a pause before a big element, but generally the dance works smooth. The gymnasts have to count their 8 most difficult moves, 5 of them acrobatic, 3 of them leaps and spins. Now she needs a big dismount. Up we go, double pie. Oh, a big step back, but she saved that. She's such a tough competitor.
She is, and she's having a great time out there. 22 years old now. And she's had great times in this sport, and I have the feeling there's still some to come. She really is gluing the Italian team effort together. And there's the planche that impresses Christine so much.
It's something she's been known by over the years. But this, she's very, very confident with.
17 is ze.
You can see how straight the feet are. They land directly along the beam. Same thing for the dismount. That was the big error, but how easily could she have sat down then?
Did very well. Very quick reaction to push that leg backwards to give you stability. Alia Mustafina has had her inquiry rejected, so she has to live with the 14.9.
They no doubt will have thought that she should have had just a little bit higher on the difficulty score, but of course then when the judges look back, they actually can look back in slow motion. Once they look in slow motion, to be honest, you're much less likely to be credited than when they've just made a decision with the naked eye.
That's a decision coaches have to take. Once you inquire, they put a microscope on your work. Now, what's Vanessa done? 14.3 into second from 3 performances.
But they're being quite tight, difficulty 5-7, down again on her qualifying score.
En dan nu de Chinese. Ladies and gentlemen,
Zhang Junsong next up, and tiny little thing she is. It's like a dual carriageway, that beam to her.
Well, lovely jump into handstand and forward walkover out. Didn't quite take the head right back on that change leg ring. Sort of gave a little jerk. Now this is the difficulty that she had in the all-around competition. 2 backflips, lovely straight somersault into jumps. How super is that? In the all-around competition, she fell on that, even though she stayed on in qualifying. Little bit of a wobble there, but she held on. Very, very powerful and dynamic. Double spin. That's very difficult on the beam. And she made it look easy. The leap and the tap back. 0.1 bonus for linking those. And the same thing for the free walkover into the jump. Well, she's certainly going for her bonuses. This will be a high start score. Now she needs to make the finish. Double pike, easy. She's very deceptively powerful.
Very nice indeed. That's a lovely routine, and she's had a good World Cup series. She won the Tokyo beam final as part of the world events that take place all around the world, all through the year. So she looked bubbling up for a good one.
She did, which was what was even more surprising when in the all-around competition, having done 2 very good pieces, she fell on this series, but it's a very difficult series. You can see how wonderfully straight she holds the body. That back foot was off a little bit, wasn't it? She did well. Now that was, I think, I would, if I was judging, I don't think I would be crediting that. You're meant to touch your foot on your head.
Well, we all know how severe you are as a judge, Christine. Tiny little thing, isn't she?
She is, but very powerful, really. She's got those sort of legs that don't quite go straight. The backs of the knees are very tight.
En kijk wie daar intussen op het podium staat.
So,
met de fuchsia outfit.
The long wait for the judges.
De wereldkampioen
Very composed, 17 years old, and
sinds 2 dagen mag ze zich zo noemen.
It's
Ze
her
pakte de
first
titel vrijdag.
World Championships. We haven't seen very much of her previously. Like you said, Mitch, she's been competing on the World Cup circuit.
14.133. 6-2 the difficulty in execution, 7.933.
Well, she does have those legs that always look a little bit bent, and the judges, they're being pretty tight today.
Mustafina still out in front, Vanessa Ferrari and Carlotta Polito, the Italian in charge, in second and third at the moment. Simone Biles, all-around champion of the world, and a couple of medals to go with that.
What a start. Full of confidence, double spin. Not the most elegant gymnast, but one of the most dynamic I've seen. Lovely precision, and you see no hesitation there. Definite join. Cleverly worked routines to show her best. Backflip, layout somersault, just a tiny falter, but so well rehearsed. She did very well there, because the very first leap was a little bit offline. She didn't hesitate it, she corrected it during the second leap. Oh, this is the first little hint of nerves we've seen from her. Just a tiny wobble, she corrected so well, but watch this. This is very special. One flip, two flips, full twisting, double back, oh, and a big step forward. Now, until now, she has looked absolutely unstoppable. We haven't seen a single falter. She didn't fall, but it wasn't absolutely perfect either, was it, Mitch?
Simone Biles, human after all.
That is how you feel, well, yes.
Let's go, Kyla.
Very close to that beam on the dismount, but this was just great, wasn't it?
En ze mag zich all-round wereldkampioen noemen.
You have to be so strong to hold on in a crouch position on one foot. She's a tough little fighter though, isn't she? She wasn't getting off that beam. Super straight legs in the layout. This the dismount, full twist.
Watch the head.
Well, that'll be quite a big deduction. Ooh.
Yeah. Wow. Power indeed. And what's she got so far? Gold, a silver, and a bronze? I'll have to check that out, but certainly she's got a hatful.
Mustafina working out.
Here, let's see.
She's working out what she thinks
Yeah,
her start
Mustafina.
value should be.
Yeah.
Yes. She's written
not
down
happy
the
with
routine.
those judges. Oh, lovely.
Well, she's had a gold all around and a silver on vault so far.
And she pushed out on bars.
Yes, she was fourth on bars.
Simone Biles, 14.133, and give it to these judges, they're doing their job.
They are. They're holding
1433
firm.
voor Biles. En dan naar die andere Amerikaanse.
So then, Mustafina is still out in front.
Zilver
The young
in het
lady that can
allrounds
match her
concours,
for
dames en heren,
elegance,
is Kyla
presence
Ross.
is Kyla Ross, and it'll be a contrast between the two Americans. We saw the power of Biles, and now we'll see the grace and elegance of Kyla Ross.
Part of the American team that won the Olympic gold medal. Now that was really well performed, wasn't it? Head was right back. One flip into a layout somersault. Single spin. Gymnasts have to include at least a single spin. Floats those two leaps. Nice free walkover into the sheep jump. Just about kept it moving. Another very powerful gymnast. She floats all her acrobatic skills. Very precise on those links. Every single time she performs a skill, she does it exactly the same. That way she can become totally consistent. You could see the arms come out of the front somersault, straight into the jump. Well, it's been very good so far. What about the dismount? Very good as well. She's really missed precision.
Light of touch, elegant, in line. Kyla Ross is challenging. Mustafina is still out there in front. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I have to say, every day I've watched Kyla Ross, I've been more impressed with her. She's improved every day. She's shown her maturity. She was part of the team in the Olympics. She didn't work all around, but you can see that experience, can't you? Lovely technique on the free walkover, and then to the sheep jump. Now she definitely touched the foot to the head there, didn't she?
Dat betekent dat er klacht is ingediend tegen haar score.
No untoward arm movements. She uses the arms absolutely the same, symmetrically most of the time, which is the easiest way to use them on the beam. Possibly a bit like Mustafina in that it's a little bit slow and cautious, but really very precise, good work.
Well, if that's what you can produce, give me slow and cautious anytime, because that was so lovely to watch. And it'll be close at the top. 14.9 is the score if she wants to match Mustafina.
Well, I think she went for most of her linkages. You know, she gave it everything. She didn't wobble after the front summy. She went front summy straight into the W jump.
It's close, but not close enough. 14.733. Second for Kyla Ross so far. 2 performers still to come. Inquiry from Simone Biles. Larissa Yogesh, and she can work beam. She's got a 15.266 in qualifying, so hold on to your hats.
And she certainly is not slow and cautious. But this is very difficult. Watch, backflip, full twisting summy, and she just could not hold on to it. We have watched her over the years be absolutely fantastic on beam, and this is the second day in a row we've seen her fall. She's got another difficult skill here. Layout somersault. But if you see the speed of work, you'll understand just a bit. If she hits this sort of speed and confidence, she's missed a connection there as well. Sets her apart. Getting a little bit of a rhythm back now. Set up for the dismount. This is my favourite bit of this routine. Round off, backflip, triple twist, clean as you like, but when you've fallen off your very first skill, it counts for nothing.
What a pity. She is great to watch on beam, but 2 falls in 2 days. It's a disappointment. Octavia Balou there, putting a perspective on it, I'm sure. She's worthy of a medal, but if you fall off...
That's the full twisting tuck back, and I've seen her perform and compete that so many times, and actually it looked quite good. She just didn't seem to quite have that same level of confidence. You know, working beam well is all about confidence. When you're feeling good about yourself, you lift your chest, correct yourself. And when there's those doubts in your mind, it just comes to haunt you. Actually, even that was offline, wasn't it? We couldn't see it from the other angle. But from that angle, she did really well.
But look at the disappointment.
When she was young, I think she just took it all in her stride. She didn't have a great Olympic Games. Well, she's still very young. This is her first World Championships. But I think she looks just a little bit too desperate for it. And it's very unusual to see tears.
Well, she's still only 17 years old, so definitely not the end. She'll be back, and I'm sure she'll put that right. She looks composed. She's accepted it. The judges taking their time.
Well, when it's a good routine, it's easy to judge.
13.933 in 7th place. Well, Simone Biles has had an inquiry accepted, and the mark has taken her now into 3rd place, 14.333.
So that's quite unusual.
Op medaillekoers, want haar klacht werd geaccepteerd. Kijk, ze staat op 14.333.
An inquiry for her too, so the Americans really looking for justice. The inquiry's been
En kijk,
submitted.
op Kyla Ross heeft nu
work for Biles, will it work
tegen haar
for Ross?
resultaat. Je ziet het sterretje daar staan. Maar eerst een oefening uit Rusland van Anna Rodionova.
Anna Rodionova. No inquiry's been submitted there, I can tell you that, because she hasn't done a performance yet.
Young Russian gymnast that we saw in the all-around competition. This is her only final. Very nice spins, very cautious. Beautifully extended feet. Here comes the big opening tumble, backflip. And Arabian, oh, that was a shame. That's very difficult. Backflip into Arabian somersault.
So disappointment for Rodionova. Just, did she fight it, Chris, or didn't she have a chance?
It's difficult to see from this angle, but I think the forward landings, when you don't see the beam, it's quite difficult to adjust yourself until your feet land. She looked a bit short on momentum. Nice free walkover. Super split in the jump. Free cartwheel, the side somersault. All these elements given a value and added together. That's a nice spin with the leg held up, not at all easy. And one of the elements you have to include in your difficulty is the dismount. So it needs to be difficult. It is a lovely double tuck.
Absolute precision. Blue on her feet. Mustafina still out in front. Rodionenko, her teammate, didn't have such a happy time. Rodionova, I beg your pardon. And Mustafina offering the advice of a very experienced gymnast and a nice cuddle, commiseration.
Well, Mustafina might have been unhappy with her initial score, but she must be feeling slightly happier as the final's gone on, because she's still out there in the front. This is the Arabian. Yeah, her feet were right off this side, weren't they?
Yeah, you couldn't battle against that.
She turned a little bit early, I think. She recovered well from that, from the free cartwheel. It's her first World Championships, and they've had quite a bit of injury in the Russian camp. Quite a few of their more experienced gymnasts not here.
Is Mustafina de
Victoria Komova, of course,
wereldkampioene?
who was the silver medalist at the Olympics.
Wachten op
She's
het resultaat van Rodionova.
silver medalist at the last Worlds. She's been ill and isn't here. So it's given some new youngsters a bit of a chance.
So there'll be a pause now. There's still an inquiry being discussed from Kyla Ross. And 14.733 versus 14.9. Rodionova score 13.1.
So this inquiry is very significant.
It has to come up almost 2/10, which I think is quite unusual. So. But there we are, Kyla Ross is still waiting. And the inquiry has been accepted. She's gone up to 14.833. There it is, there's confirmation. So Mustafina is still in that gold medal position. It is hers. Kyla Ross is in silver. Alia Mustafina then. Disappointed she was with her score, but it was good enough to win gold. Kyla Ross, upper 10th in silver medal.
Vice-wereldkampioene en bronzen medaillewinnares.
Well, if you work first,
Ladies,
Simone
please
Biles
prepare
there,
for the
third,
march-outs.
14.33. Not the highest scoring final, but it wasn't because the work wasn't good. The judges were just very vigilant today.
Confirmation. Alia Mustafina takes gold over Kyla Ross and Simone Biles. What a contrast in two styles there. She takes the bronze medal, and look at Vanessa Ferrari in fourth. What a competition she's having.
No wonder she didn't kiss and hug Mustafina.